On a quiet August night in 1977, a computer at Ohio State University printed out a string of numbers and letters that nobody was expecting to see. One astronomer looked at it and circled 6 characters in red ink. Next to them, he wrote a single word, "Wow." That word would go on to name one of the strangest unsolved mysteries in the history of astronomy. Decades later, with better telescopes, better data, and better science, we still don't have a confirmed answer. And the closest explanations scientists have found only make the story stranger. On August 15, 1977, the Big Ear radio telescope in Ohio was quietly scanning the sky as part of a project searching for signs of extraterrestrial intelligence. The telescope picked up a narrowband radio signal at a frequency of approximately 20.456 megahertz, a frequency notably close to the natural emission line of hydrogen, the most common element in the universe. A few days later, astronomer Jerry Eman was reviewing the printout when he spotted it. He circled the data and wrote, "Wow," in the margin, and that note gave the signal its now famous name. The signal lasted 72 seconds, almost exactly the amount of time it would take for the telescope's beam to sweep past a fixed point in the sky as Earth rotated. In other words, it behaved exactly like something real out there, far beyond Earth. Let's walk through why this signal puzzled scientists for nearly 50 years. First, the signal was incredibly strong. It was far more powerful than typical background radio noise. Strong enough that it stood out instantly from everything else this telescope had ever recorded. Second, it matched the magic frequency. Scientists had long theorized that if intelligent life elsewhere in the universe wanted to send a signal, the hydrogen line frequency would be a logical choice. Because hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe, and any civilization studying physics would likely know its exact frequency. Third, it never repeated. Despite follow-up observations, the signal was never detected again, not by Big Ear, not by any other telescope pointed at the same region of the sky. Fourth, its exact source remained a mystery for decades. For nearly 50 years, researchers couldn't pinpoint exactly where in the sky, or what, had produced it. So what have scientists actually found? For years, theories ranged widely. In 2016, one astronomer suggested a passing comet might have been responsible, though that explanation faced significant skepticism from other scientists. In 2020, an amateur astronomer proposed the signal may have come from a sun-like star, roughly 1,800 light-years away, near the center of the Milky Way. Then, starting in 2024, a team of astrophysicists took a new approach. They analyzed archived data from the now decommissioned Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico and discovered something striking. Between February and May of 2020, Arecibo had picked up multiple signals strikingly similar to the original "wow" signal. Their leading explanation: what Big Ear detected in 1977 may have been the sudden, transient brightening of a cold hydrogen cloud in space. The theory suggests that when a distant, flaring object, like a neutron star, sends out a burst of radiation that passes through a cloud of neutral hydrogen, it can excite that gas and make it glow intensely with radio energy for several minutes. One specific possibility researchers floated was that the trigger could have been something like a magnetar flare or a soft gamma repeater, some of the most extreme, energetic objects known in the universe. Here's the twist that makes this even more interesting. Events like this are rare because they require a very specific cosmic alignment. The hydrogen cloud, the background energy source, and Earth all have to line up almost perfectly. And because most radio telescopes scan broadly across many frequencies, these narrow, specific signals can easily be missed entirely, which may be exactly why nobody noticed similar events for decades. In other words, the wow signal might not have been a one-time fluke. It might be a real, natural phenomenon happening across the universe constantly. One we simply didn't have the right tools or the right luck to catch again until now. But here's the catch. Even researchers behind this new explanation describe it as a leading hypothesis, not a confirmed answer. As of now, this remains a recent and still developing theory, and scientists continue to emphasize the importance of further multi-station observations to truly verify what's happening. So nearly 50 years after that printout was circled in red ink, where does that leave us? The wow signal has never been detected again in its original exact form. The leading scientific theory today points to a natural astrophysical event, not an alien transmission. But that theory, while compelling, still hasn't been definitively proven. What we do know is that the broader pattern of similar, fainter hydrogen line signals has now been observed, suggesting this kind of cosmic event may be more common than anyone realized. And that raises an unsettling question of its own. How many other wow moments might be happening across the universe right now, completely unnoticed, simply because nobody happened to be listening at exactly the right frequency, at exactly the right second? Here's the thought that should stay with you. For decades, the wow signal stood as one of humanity's strongest pieces of evidence that we might not be alone in the universe. Today, science has a far more grounded explanation. Clouds of hydrogen gas lit up by violent cosmic flares, scattered across deep space. But maybe that's not a disappointing ending. Maybe it's the opposite. Because it means the universe is still capable of surprising us, not with aliens, but with physics we're only just beginning to understand. Somewhere out there, right now, another signal might be passing through space, waiting for someone, somewhere, to be listening.